Hey guys, NocRan here. I got buried alive again. And while the groundskeeper is very kind when he isn't being a weirdo feeding food to his lantern, I would really like to not suffocate to death.
Looks nice and comfy, doesn't it?
Whew. Alright, now let's get out of here before the groundskeeper comes back. That's right, today I'm farming primos for Flins. I know this video is late, I blame the ping. I'm at exactly 0 pity, yes I did win my 50-50 and pulled llama. I'm also starting a bit higher this time at 4,766 primos plus 18 fates thanks to all the 5th anniversary stuff going on right now. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, if you thought I was going to start off with the Abyss again, like the predictable YouTuber that I am, I would tell you that you're wrong. Me when I intentionally spread misinformation online? When I was scouting out the enemies on floor 11 as if it even mattered and I wasn't about to just drop a dookie on them, I saw my favorite enemies, the constipated beasts. Goodbye 30-minute toilet break. Hello?
Jefe de pepinillos mexicanos.
After letting Raiden eat my pickle and wow, I am so sorry for saying that line out loud, I ran into a small issue with the Hydro Tulpa. Now you might be thinking that bringing 2 Hydro characters into this boss is a bad idea, and you'd be right. Cue the sad piano. Insert the sad violin. After saying goodbye to Pickle Rick one more time, I made it back to the Hydro Tulpa and took my revenge by employing a different strategy. As you can see, that strategy did not involve changing my team. Just dodge, forehead. Next up was this furry whose mechanics I probably should have read because it took over 2 minutes to kill it. Just like in real life, which left my Skirk team once again to pick up the pieces. This boss that I also didn't read the mechanics of, and you might be noticing a trend here, had me a little worried until I killed it without even noticing. Unfortunately, I had my comeuppance right after when I didn't notice when I died and had to retry the chamber. So I decided to switch up and gave Skirk the nuclear codes. This time I finished the Abyss in about double the time I took to finish it at the beginning of Inefa's farming video, and you would know that if an update to Live Split didn't mess up my OBS settings, which I only noticed after recording the first 2 hours. I collected a couple of achievements I got from the new bosses in the Abyss, then stared in shock when I saw a new highest difficulty in the Imaginarium theater. Move aside, Mona, my broke ass is joining you in Visionary. Now you might be wondering why I always start with the endgame content if I don't really enjoy it. Let me put it this way, it's like starting your dinner by eating all your veggies first so you can save all the good stuff for later. I collected my rewards, then went to get onslaughted by the Stygian, and... oh. Past NocRan, how could you do this to me? I thought we had a plan. Instead, I decided to do this event that I definitely didn't forget about. No. Put the goldfish PNG away, mute the sound effect. Trust me, this was on purpose. At the start of this event, I was pretending like I knew what was going on because I skipped over the instructions. Not because I was too lazy to read, but because I'm illiterate. I soon figured out that this was basically just PvE Bomberman, and after planting enough bombs that put me on a federal watch list as if I wasn't on one already,
Jesus Christ, that's Jesus Christ.
I spent my resin, collected my commissions, checked my primo count, entered a couple of codes, neither of which worked, and did a web event where I did more gambling. But more importantly, hello timer, goodbye timer. You know what time it is? It's rhythm game time. And this time I didn't listen to other music in the background. Doing that during the road not taken would be criminal of me. I also played some other bangers like Ember Fire, Moonlight Smile, Dea's demo OST, the 4th anniversary song, and yes, I did play Shanyan's demo OST out of principle. And after a little longer, I collected the reward. Everyone say hi to the timer! Next up, I was gonna continue Act 1 of the Archon quest. Apparently, I left off at checking on a sick child. Hope they're still alive! Oh hey, that lady looks about as sleep-deprived as I did after my weekend in Vegas. 10 hours of sleep in 4 days. I regret nothing. And sooner or later, so will Aether because instead of sleeping, he's just decided,
I'm going for a walk.
it's her! She's here! The Lunoculus!
I just wanted to ask you about Nodcry.
This is so strange hearing Aether talk this much. Wow guys, this is just like the plot of Call of the Night. Wait, if Aether is Ko in this scenario, then wouldn't that mean Nazna would be... Nope. I followed Lumine into the Frostmoon Scion's basement, had a friendly competition with her where I could have sworn she was just kill-stealing the entire time, and solved a puzzle that may or may not have had a moon motif. Come on, Lumine, you really gotta work on that cardio. Where the hell? We then attended a fur fest where Lumine had to carry me when I got into a fist fight, which gave me a precious chest.
Now, go bring it to me.
I don't know, Lumine. You're acting kinda sus.
Who into that would even have the nerve?
Ooh, Aether, you've done f***ed up now.
No idea what that means.
Don't worry, Paimon, I got you with a direct translation. Belly rubs now, slave. I met the director of the CIA, Dendro Yolan, step on me, Nope, Aether, this is all you, buddy. This ain't my man's. I then finally told them that yes, I may or may not have just aided in the robbery of their sacred relic. Then I met Yehoda, probably the most memeable character in all of Genshin. And you know what I have to do here. Afterwards, I had someone try to join my game with a name I cannot read because if it wasn't apparent from my accent, the only time I ever see a Union Jack is when I'm playing World of Warships. Could you imagine if they were sponsoring this video? That would have been an insane ad segue. I visited the sick kid again and found out that llamas got unicorn blood, which might make this kid Voldemort.
Why don't we just find baby
Voldemort.
and
I felt like I could use some unicorn blood myself, cause I was so tired, I paused the timer and went to lie down for 5 minutes. And after accidentally lying down for about an hour, I collected my commissions and collapsed back into bed. The next day, I woke up in a cold sweat because I forgot to spend my resin. I completed my commissions, again, then stumbled upon a meeting between two intelligence officers. I'm sure there will be no repercussions that come of this. Either that, or we're nuking the Fontaine Research Institute again. I finally continued the Archon quest, where I cooked up a meal for Columbina. Hope you don't mind food poisoning.
The meal she cooked may have led to the deaths of 3 people.
Plan B is... we call it quits right here.
You know what? I quite like that plan. I then infiltrated a Fatui facility, in which I clearly misunderstood the assignment because I already alerted the sentry robots. You know what? Let me just backtrack a bit. I can't even get distracted by any chests here, so I might as well steal some stuff. Really, Yehoda? Right in front of my salad? That was not the type of distraction I was talking about. Next up was dodging some lasers. Now I was going to make a joke like, I don't mean to brag, but I'm an expert at these kinds of puzzles and then instantly die, but it was so easy that it kinda made it hard to do that. Hey guys, check out my Inefa cosplay. I think it's pretty accurate. After collecting a couple of chests, a huge hole opened up in front of us. No, I will not dignify that statement with a joke about your mother. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. Now I know this is a very important scene and all that, but Yehoda standing there like la la la, I'm not here, is hella funny. My memory's pretty bad and all, but I don't remember Stephen King's The Mist having remarkable chests in it.
Something in the mist! But you're not my sister!
I knew it! She was an imposter! We must vote her out immediately! When Marionette decided to just give us back the sacred relic, I was a little bit surprised. All I'll say is she seems a bit wound up. Instead of heading back to town to continue the Archon quest, I ended up getting distracted by an 11-letter word that starts with an E and ends with an N. That's right, ejaculation. Oh, and there goes the monetization. This included picking up a Lunoculus, picking up Inefa's chest, just kidding, she barely has any, helping this random guy and getting rewarded for it, another Lunoculus, stacking cargo as part of a 25-minute side quest, that resulted in a robot yeeting some cargo into the ocean. Yep, I'm definitely getting fired for this. With my last paycheck, I got an achievement plus 40 primos. Don't ask me where I am, I have no idea. Don't ask me how I got these chests, I have no idea. After doing a bit more exploration, I continued the Archon quest, and finally completed Act 1. Immediately afterwards, I collected 3 more Lunoculus, one of which was in the Phallus Caves. Yes, that's the official name, see look, it's even on the wiki. This also included beating up a crab as part of the quest The Mirror, the Maze, and the Tsar. I hope you're hungry, because we'll be having crab for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for at least the next 4 years. The lifetime supply of crab gave me 2 precious chests and a luxurious chest, and after 2 more Lunoculus, I collected the wish that came with completing Act 1 of the Archon quest. Yes, I did forget about it for 15 minutes. I collected a few achievements, checked my primo count, then continued with Act 2 of the Archon quest, and immediately got distracted. twice. Back to the Archon quest, I had to help with fixing Aino's boom blast, which is a giant f***off cannon, by the way, and I don't really see how this is helping. But before we get to see a giant laser blast...
We make a good team, after all, don't you think? You front and center, me behind the curtain.
God, that made my spine tingle a bit. I feel like I'm being seduced by Elon 2.0. Nefer then had me masquerading as a bartender as part of an undercover intelligence mission. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because the last time I was allowed to serve drinks, everyone woke up in weird places.
Which one of you dick twitches dyed my hair?
I'll give you one hint as to what happened. Rohypnol. We then played Truth and Drink. Wait, sorry, it's Truth or Drink. Nope, wait, got it right the first time. It's Truth and Drink. Bunch of alcoholics. And afterwards, I got an achievement for my stellar intelligence gathering. CIA, here I come. Then I finally got to see the giant laser. I dealt some drugs to Lalma, visited Columbina and held her hand.
It should have been me, not him!
Got distracted by another 2 Lunoculus, as well as a time trial challenge. Completed my commissions, spent my resin on some more garbage, and after talking to Yahoda, who's a compulsive liar and needs to stop lying to her clients, Xin Yan, who's looking for inspiration for her new song, Please God, Don't Let It Be featuring Hu Tao, and Yan Fei, who's looking for some hooligans to accost her. What was I doing again? Oh right, Act 2 of the Archon quest, in which Flins is the prime suspect in a murder case. Just kidding, it's another skinwalker living among us. Like that time Albedo was on trial for murder. Man, Teyvat really has a skinwalker problem. They should look into that. And after only getting distracted once... Okay, I lied. It was twice. They sent me back into the mist to count the bodies. How else do you think the kill count got its numbers? I actually ended up getting lost for a couple of minutes before finally finding Flins fighting the skinwalker. Flins, buddy, I could have found you a lot earlier if you just had a brighter lantern. Just saying. Damn. RIP Sergeant Major Sosi. Ooh, chest! After putting my F key through some domestic abuse for 15 minutes, I collected 2 more Lunoculus, as well as a precious chest, then got distracted by this jellyfish puzzle, which had me climbing to the top of this thing for literally no reason. And after a quick YouTube search, it turns out that it's part of a quest. So either I do this jellyfish side quest, or I continue the Archon quest. The first jellyfish I rescued had me digging for treasure, only to find another jellyfish buried in the sand. And while rescuing the jellyfish, I got just a little bit distracted by a chest and a Lunoculus, which may or may not have resulted in the next jellyfish I rescued literally dying 2 seconds afterwards. I take no responsibility for this. This is all somehow Paimon's fault. I sent all the jellyfish to the ocean in the sky and completed the quest. What was I doing again? Oh right! Exploration! This included getting the easiest luxurious chest I had ever gotten in my life, realizing that I'm actually really stupid. I'm just joking. That's not a new realization. Collecting 3 Lunoculus, and doing whatever this puzzle is that gave me a precious chest. After which, I realized I had 3 Evermoon seals, only to also realize that no, I am indeed an idiot. Those are for different islands, bozo. Instead, I decided to look up this data storage cassette that I got from the precious chest 5 minutes ago. This took me into an underground Fatui research facility as part of the quest Priorities First, where I found a couple more Lunoculus, and Shanyan proved once again why she's the GOAT. I did find a 3rd Lunoculus, but I clearly thought I was playing Skate and tried grinding on the rail on my way to get it. I gotta say though, I'm actually liking this kind of puzzle, and after collecting 2 more Lunoculus, don't worry, the word Lunoculus also means nothing to me anymore, I collected my 3rd data cassette thingy, and if you don't remember me collecting my 2nd, neither do I! I spent like 5 minutes looking through the footage for it before realizing that no one cares. I then headed back to the underground facility to complete the quest, and now that that's over, I can— Oh, the Archon quest! After such riveting gameplay as filing documents, we finally confront the skinwalker who's been walking among us. But before that, we must stop Aino's boom blast from blowing us to smithereens. To do so, Inefa must carry Aino around like a sack of potatoes. Think of it as like a morale boost. Unfortunately, the morale boost didn't really work as the laser ended up firing anyway. And now the Traveler's dead. Oh, and so is Flins. Bro, he stole that move from Genos. Afterwards, we said goodbye to Sergeant Major Sosi, and after promising to take Columbina out for a meal, Act 2 was complete. I collected all the achievements, the free wish, the free 620 primos for completing both acts of the Archon quest, checked my primo count. Now, you know what time it is. It's Coconut Mall time.
Coconut Mall.
No, it's Lunoculus farming time. Over the next 2.5 hours, I collected 61 Lunoculus, which was every Lunoculus I was missing in this update. But let me show you what else I got up to in that time. Herding a group of little robots, getting stuck, help me step to site, accidentally starting Ino's something or rather quest. It's the one that unlocks the meeting point to spend your sigils, and I'm too lazy to search up what they named it. Stumbling upon a feud between treasure hoarders and deciding that instead of taking a side, I'll just commit a massacre. Remember, it's not a crime against humanity if you don't consider them human. Solving this puzzle with my brain and not just brute forcing it, spawning a random luxurious chest, climbing a cliff before realizing I'm directionally challenged, and completing the For a Green Island quest where we sought to remove all plastics and fossil fuels from the island. Wait, that's not what the quest is about? Well, whatever it's about, it gave me a luxurious chest. Now, in between finding Lunoculus, I also found Skirk in the midst of being scammed by Dory. Like, this motherfucker is the type of person to take the R out of Crumkake and call it authentic. I also talked to a Nepha who is acting as Yehoda's sleep doctor, and all I gotta say is, damn, AI really do be replacing us, huh? Who knows? Maybe I'm AI, and I just haven't realized it yet. Oh god, existentialism! I followed a questline called The Shoemaker's Children Go Barefoot because there were actually a few Lunoculus on the way. In this quest, I am once again infiltrating a Fatui research facility. That's like the third one this video. And it was during this quest when I got introduced to something new that they added. In a supposed stealth mission like this, you actually have to defeat the enemies that spot you in a certain amount of time. Otherwise, the alarm will be raised and the facility explodes or something. I don't know, I never found out what happens. As I was climbing to the top of the facility, no, this wasn't a part of the quest, don't worry about that. Not only did I boost Shanyun's ego, once again, I also found a luxurious chest. Call me psychosis because just like my psychiatrist, these guys didn't even notice me even though I was tap dancing practically on top of their heads. I was then caught venting, and with another infiltrator we found named Netochka, we roleplayed as thieves who are going to steal state secrets from the Fatui. And, I think this roleplay might be a bit too realistic. Afterwards, Netochka showed me why she's actually an Olympic gold medalist in standing long jump, and I showed her why Shanyun is the gold medalist in triple jump. Foreign classified documents. After baiting this robot into a death trap, I beat up some more Fatui because they looked at me funny. Also, I find it hilarious that the alert timer is still there. Like, I think they clearly know we're here already. And it was here where we launched ourselves into the stratosphere and finally fought the head honcho. Ra! Hiya! Die. That's a pretty good reenactment, I'd say. We finally finished the quest where Netochka realized that she's actually a side character. And she's right. In fact, we're all side characters. You want to know who the main character is? Society. With the quest complete, next up was this quest, The Tale of the Gatestone, which ended before I could even figure out what it was about. So next up was Gift of the Mirage. Maybe this one will last long enough for me to tell you about it. It didn't. Next was Echoes of an Unfinished Past, where we went rock watching, which gave me 3 chests, a free 4-star sword, as well as an achievement, which I proceeded to collect. I also collected some anecdote rewards, and this time had enough Evermoon seals to open the vault, from which I got nothing good. I then collected my commissions, spent my resin, from which I still got nothing good, then upgraded my Statue of the New Moon, god that feels weird to say, to the highest level I could. This gave me a Shrine of Depth key, which I used. I collected the exploration bonus, then checked my primo count. I claimed a check-in reward as well as some more web event primos, talked to Heizo who was chasing a fugitive who fled from Inazuma, and luckily, it wasn't me. I mean, I hope you catch him, Heizo. Talked to Nefer who was in the midst of scamming Dory. Serves you right, you little rat. Spent my commissions and completed my resin.
Wait a minute.
It was then time to cheese the Abyss timer again.
Cheese.
Floor 11 was... No one cares about floor 11, let's be honest. I looked through the floor 12 enemies and it all went through one eye and out the other. Okay, yeah, that saying doesn't really work as well as the ear one, but you get what I mean. I will say though, this boss was kind of annoying. It felt like he had 3 health bars or something. Still, not really a big issue. Have I mentioned how much I hate this enemy type? Because I really hate this enemy type. But still, it wasn't really an issue. Until... Who would have guessed that actually paying attention to the enemies that appear would be useful? Okay, fine. I'll run a Bloom team. There, are you happy now? I also like how this boss's shield encourages you to use electro reactions and all of that, but he's humanoid, so Skirk team just kinda... And with with that, the Abyss was done for the second time. Next up was this photo taking event.
Good photo of everyone who asked.
My favorite setting was making the picture as blurry as possible for literally no reason. But no event would feel complete without a random camera lock killing my Shanyun midair. My favorite picture though is this one of Flins. He's like sorta there, sorta not there. Schrodinger's Flins. After collecting the event primos, I got started on unlocking the meeting points so I can spend my Luna sigils. Llama's quest had me breaking into a previous Moonchanter's moon domain and robbing it or something. I feel like I'm doing a lot of breaking and entering this video, but that's okay, the feds will never catch me. And if they do, I've instructed Inefa to wipe my hard drives. Ino's quest had me dealing with a robot that sounded like a how if his likeness was used to train an AI model. Flynn's quest had me getting accosted by a ghost, then had me operating a lighthouse to the detriment of ships everywhere. I got the final night cemetery meeting point to level 4, and also unlocked the Luna treasure compass, which has a level for some reason. I then went and offered my sigils to the Frostmoon Enclave meeting point and got it to level 5. Then got the Clink Clank Crumb Kake craft shop meeting point, god that's a mouthful, to level 4 and oh no! I need 90% exploration in this area! Whatever shall I do? This gave me 2 Shrine of Depth keys, so guess what I was going to do next? And a 1 and a 2. I then started abusing the crap out of my new treasure compass, but don't worry, it's a masochist. And after around 20 more minutes of exploring, I had enough exploration progress to level up the final night cemetery meeting point to level 5, which gave me another 50 primos. I then headed to another treasure vault because I had enough Evermoon seals, and wanted to see if I could luck sack an artifact. Which I didn't. I then did a quest called the Tale-Telling Heart, and I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. YouTube help! Thanks, YouTube. I then proceeded to... Go away, stinky lizard. I then proceeded to complete the quest. Would I be able to tell you what it was about?
No.
I collected all my achievements, then realized I wasn't at the required 90% exploration to get the last level of the Clink Clank Crumb Kake craft shop meeting point. And yes, I will continue to call it by its full name. So it was time for... just a little more... exploration! This ended up with me doing the quest The Power of Research. And, I don't think it was supposed to do that. I'm just hoping this researcher isn't from the Fontaine Research Institute, cause otherwise me and him are gonna have some problems. After completing the quest and collecting the achievement, I saw that I was at 89%. Exploration! I got to 90%. I got the Clink Clank Crumb Kake. I got the Clink Clank Crumb Kake craft shop meeting point to level 5. Got an achievement for it. Then checked my primo count. I commissions did. Resin spent. Talked to Inefa who wanted to upgrade her sense of humor. I don't think it worked.
This guy stinks!
Then unlocked the quest The Bell of Morning Echoes. In this quest, I gave some relics to a dead lightkeeper. No, that's really it. Gave me an achievement and everything. I then beat local legend Sigurd, though I couldn't actually see what the other objectives were, so it's just the one. Next up was the Crab Star, which wasn't too big of an issue, although I was a little confused what that last objective meant because I thought it just meant to use the seeds to blow him out of the air twice in one run. Turns out it meant I was supposed to avoid him going up in the air a second time, which meant I staggered all my damage for nothing. And now I'm sad. Finally was Raskolnikov, which Skirk team easily handled all 3 objectives for an easy 60 primos. Next, I wanted to find the rest of these bounty tokens. There's one, and there's the other. I then turned them into this NPC here for 3 chests and an achievement. And finally, I stopped the timer. In just under 15 hours of gameplay, I managed to get to 12,701 primos plus 20 fates, which, subtracting the original amount I started with, means I farmed 8,255 primos in this video. Once again, I'm at exactly 0 pity. Without further ado, the polls. 10, 20, dang, that's a lot of 4 stars. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. All right, here we go. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hey, Dawei? I think you pressed the wrong button there. What do you mean we can't have the viewers getting suspicious? I thought we agreed that being insanely lucky was gonna be like my brand image and all that. I don't care if you think Chi-Chi deserves better. Dude, you're screwing me over here. Hello? 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 God damn it. Wait, was I not muted? 12, 22, 32, 33, 34, 35, and I am out. Well, unfortunately, I finally got the bad end in one of these videos. Can't say it's undeserved, considering I've been lucky for too long. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Which is why I'm staring at this wall until it opens up and swallows me whole. Anyway, hopefully... What's that? I forgot some footage? Really? I don't think a little more footage is going to make this any better. Like, what could be so important that I need to include it last minute? Okay, I guess I'm rewriting the outro then. By the way, that was at like 42 pity. This game's ridiculous. Well, fortunately, I still got the good ending. Somehow. Can't say it's undeserved. I'm just joking. This is totally undeserved. Surely the next one will have a bad ending, right? Fingers crossed. Who knows, maybe I'll get hit by a truck in the next couple of days or something. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's it from me though, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!